given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed.
Tomatoes from start to finish. I figured I would go ahead and start at the beginning with the seeds. We're inside my greenhouse right now. So I flip around real quick. All right. So as you see, I reused a old egg container. Also, I have actually had some tomato plants planted in this earlier this season that were started inside and then moved to the garden. You'll see that a little later on. And I've got some seeds. So we'll be starting these black rims. So what I normally would do, and I'm pretty quick, man. I don't, take a lot of time when I'm doing the seeds. So I'll just show you how I would go by doing it. Is, pat your dirt down. You want to get it real firm. I would definitely say, give a light watering or good watering to the soil to make sure that it is moist before you start to add the seeds in. This will help with germination, so that the seeds germinate properly and pretty evenly and at an even pace. Sometimes you'll have some seeds already starting and other seeds hadn't started yet. You want a good germination rate so that everybody's starting around about the same time. I'm just going to pat all of this down again. Once I've got it patted down, I'll go through and take my Sharpie, and you can use the smaller Sharpie if you got that. And I just make a little indentation in each one of these spaces. What you'll learn from watching my videos, I'm usually pretty quick about gardening. I don't take a lot of time doing stuff in the garden, but I enjoy being in my garden, if that makes sense. So, once you got them all put in, all right, so I don't know if you can see that or not, but I have dropped the seed in each one of the holes. And it's okay, like you see that one's got 2 in there. It's all right if you drop 2 in there. Once the plant's going, you can always thin it out. And what I'll do is just lightly cover up each one of these seeds. Just lightly. Just like that. And you want to go through and do that with all of your seedlings. If you got a big chunk in there, you definitely want to take that out. You don't want that in there. So now once everybody's all covered up, we're going to lightly water. And if you see that on the egg crate, if you water on the top right there on those little nodules, it'll run down right in between both of your spaces, and it won't disturb the seed, unless you do what I just did and pour way too much water. My table is set at an angle so that a lot of my water will go to the runoff. Makes it easier for me when I'm watering to just have that. I can overwater, everything runs off to one side, and then I can flip everything the opposite way, and then the water will run down and out. So now that we have those seeds planted, I will cover this, and those are no longer there, but it is still tomatoes. And today is the 4th, the 3rd, I believe, maybe the 4th, 3rd. All right, and we just planted So now we'll sit back, wait about 4 to 5 days, maybe 6 days. Keep checking on them, lightly watering, not getting the soil as moist as we did this time around. We don't want it this moist, but this one time, let everything, if it's outside, it's going to pretty much start to to dry pretty quick in these small containers. So once it's dry, you want to keep it fairly moist, but not too wet. I'm just going to sit that there for now. And that's it. Remember, like I said, when you're watering, this is some cucumbers I have going. Right along that top part right there, everything will run down. Or if your system's set up different, if you're level, everything will just run straight. And see, once I've done this, still learning how to work this camera and do the actual filming and talking. So work with me, y'all. Alright. So then take and just turn it the other way and let it sit like that for a few days. And that water's has run down the opposite direction. Alright. And same thing here. Especially with these are lettuce. With the lettuce, you definitely want to not water from the top. Always water from the bottom. Get in there, right inside, right down that little piece, right in the middle. And what I'll do is I'll go in with these and I'll use some for microgreens, and I'll take some of the better, healthier plants and plant them in the garden and let them start to grow up to produce. So nothing will really go to waste here. So I do a lot of the bunching of some of my lettuce seeds because we use a lot of lettuce. So, all right, let's go back to the tomatoes. All right, how's it going, everyone? So today I'll be planting the tomato seeds that I started about maybe 3 or 4 weeks, I'll say 4 weeks ago in the greenhouse. They're ready to go into the garden. If you notice, I do keep them in a old egg container. Trash day. Great way to start your eggs out. 1 seed per egg spot, and then once they start to get their first true leaves, and you see that second set of leaves growing down there, that's when you know that they are ready to be moved over and transplanted. So, see something on there, some kind of little bug. All right, so what I'll do is I'll dig some holes first. Well, I'll go through and I'll kind of like lightly till up the yard a little bit with my hand spade here, and just kind of just till through it. And then once I'm done, I'll level it out a little bit, and then I'll put use my shovel to just put a little hole in the ground just to soften the ground up, and then I'll come back with one of these and I'll just kind of push from the bottom. If you push from the bottom, it kind of breaks the dirt up. You can push it up, and I'll do this one. You just push it from the bottom, kind of grab the seed, grab the bottom as low as you can, and you'll get just that much of it. And you want to take that, bury it down. If you put a little finger spot in that dirt again, you can bury it right down in there. And when you rebury it, you want to come right up to the neck. So this is the one I just reburied. You want to come right back up to the neck, okay? And once you come up to the neckline, then you want to press it down a little bit, kind of dampen it around in the areas around it, giving it kind of a dip, so it has kind of a little hole, so the water can pool around it, and that's pretty much it. So here's the video. This video will go into, you'll see me go through the whole process, as well as putting, what you'll see is the white stuff that I'll sprinkle over the top is crushed eggshell. Crushed eggshell works really, really great if you have a problem with slugs. If you have a problem with slugs in your area. So if you got that problem, which I do have that problem. I have slugs in my garden all the time, and I'm all natural. I don't like to treat with anything, so putting the eggshells around the small, younger seedlings will protect them. The slugs hate crawling over the eggshells, so they pretty much will leave them alone. Once they get pretty big and established, you don't have slug problems. It's usually when the leaves are small and tender. So that's what you'll see me covering the white, little stuff on the top, and then when I go back over again, you'll see me putting mulch around each one of the seedlings. And the mulch serves two purposes. The mulch will keep weeds down, so it'll keep the garden almost weedless. And even if you get weeds, they're so easy to pull up because the mulch has softened the ground so much that it makes the job a whole lot simpler, especially gardening in Georgia. We start out with really soft dirt, and then by September or by August, you know, summer sets in pretty good. The dirt's rock hard again, and your plants and roots are not able to spread out and grow and get as big as they could get because the roots start to get a little stagnant. With this method, I've learned it from what's called the Eden Garden. You'll hear me talk about that a lot. Look it up on YouTube. You'll learn more about it. My style of the Eden Garden is not completely to the same format. I use a lot of different styles that I've learned over the years, whether it be the Eden gardening, I've done square gardening, I've done vertical gardening. So I try to incorporate a lot of different gardening styles into my garden. But I definitely love the mulch. The mulch is one of the best things I've got. If you want to get mulch, you can call your local power department. Usually they have a list you can get on, and they'll put you on a list to drop you mulch. There's also an app, and I get no affiliation for this app, but I do use it, and I've tried it. Last year I tried it. I didn't get any chips, but it's called Chip Drop. So if you look on, I guess, the App Store, you should find it, Chip Drop. And I was able to get a whole drop of chips this year free. And it's free for the drop. You just set up your location and actually where you want them to drop it. And usually if somebody's in the area, I'm guessing, that's doing stuff, they'll drop it off at your house. And I got lucky this year. Last year I didn't. So I was kind of hot, but it is what it is. It's free chips. If you get them, you get them. All right, so on with the video. Enjoy. All right, now that you got your tomatoes in the ground, you got them covered, they're off to a great start. Water them every couple of days. I'll be watering the tomatoes out here in my garden every couple of days. Tomato blog will definitely be updated, so you'll get the chance to see how these tomatoes are going. And also, we'll do harvest as well as any bugs or pests that may, frequent our tomato plants. So follow this blog, like, subscribe. If you got any questions or comments or suggestions on new videos, put them below. Thank you for watching. Ace of Trades.